Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jim Cahill. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to host a webinar with our partners at the United States Post Office as they talk about what's happening within their own organization, some of the products, and looking ahead to the crucial holiday season. Great. So again, my name is Jim Cahill, and with me today is Ian Awano. Ian, would you like to say hello?
Hey, guys.
Okay. I also have James Classic with us as well from the Freestyle team.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. And we are honored to have two representatives from the United States Post Office with us today, Justin Baines and Kadra Myers. Justin and Kadra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Okay.
And the same. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Glad you're joining us for this webinar.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know if Josh Lane from SHPO has been able to join yet, but he certainly will be on later. And as everyone in the audience knows, SHPO is a longtime partner of Freestyle and of the United States Post Office. So I mentioned a little bit about the agenda. We want to have the Post Office team update you as to the services, the products, their process of updating and introducing new equipment. We also want them to talk about a product which we think could be very important to our customers. That's United States Post Office, a USPS Ground Advantage. Some exciting things that they're doing with that product and how advantageous it can be for your business. We'd also are pleased to have them give an update on the upcoming holiday season, what to expect, a little bit of a look into deadlines. That's not been quite released yet, but they can give you some thoughts on that as well. And then once that concludes, Ian will rejoin us and he'll be talking about some of the practical things that you can do within MOM to be able to prepare for the holiday season. As always, we invite you to put questions into the question panel during the presentation. We will be answering those questions at the conclusion of the webinar. So with that, let me turn it over to the Post Office team and let them start introducing the exciting things that are going on there. Kadra, would you like to kick it off?
Sure. Thank you so much, Jim. And again, good afternoon to everyone. We just want to talk briefly about some of the things that are going on with the Postal Service and answer any questions that you may have towards the end. So one of the exciting things that we at the Postal Service are excited about is what we call the Delivering for America initiative. What this is a 10-year plan that our current Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, came up with of how to make the Postal Service more sustainable financially, as well as far as the environment is concerned as well. We're concerned about both of those things. We're wanting to be the carrier of choice going forward, and we are putting forward the measures in order to be that person or carrier of choice. And some of the things that we're doing that we're excited about is transforming our network. We have been placing new plants in different strategic places throughout the country. We have been consolidating some of our current locations. We have been updating some of our current locations in different ways, adding lighting, making it more welcoming to our employees and to the public as well. Those are some of the things that we're doing with the Postal Service. We're optimizing our transportation. We are decreasing our costs and increasing truck utilization. What we mean by that is some of these vehicles that we have, LLVs is what we call them, long life vehicles, are 30 plus years old. You've seen them. There's a picture of it, kind of what they look like on that brochure on the left-hand side. And it's time for us to update those. And we're updating a lot of those with electric vehicles. And that the drawing that you see on the side of optimizing transportation is kind of a model of what these new vehicles will look like. And so we're excited about that. As far as increasing truck utilization, our goal is to fill up every truck that leaves our plant close to 100% as possible. And so we're changing our network in order to be able to accommodate more of our ground transportation. and we'll talk a little bit more about that with Ground Advantage, and to fill every truck. We have to go to all these locations anyway. We want to maximize that by filling those trucks up to every location that they're attending. Investing in our future, empowering our organization to serve our customers long-term, long into the future by investing in our employees, investing in our technology, investing in our infrastructure all around. We're making drastic changes. I want to say it's like $40 billion has been set aside or will be set aside in these next 10 years to invest in our own future and make us the carrier of choice. Growing our business, competing better in the marketplace. That was why Ground Advantage was created. We'll talk a little bit more about that, and upgrading our technology. We'll talk a little bit more about that in slides to come. You can go to the next slide, Ian. Oh, I'm sorry. Before you do that, Justin, did you have anything that you wanted to add to the Growing, Delivering for America initiative?
Not really. I feel like you covered it all, Kadra. I'd just like to say there's been a lot of big changes over the last 3 years, and over the next 7 years, there'll be even more. And if you look at some of the stats that they have out there to date, we've been improving our service standard and the time of delivery for Ground Advantage. That was a new product for you, and Kadra's going to talk more on that here in a moment. Thanks, Kadra.
Some of the technology advancements that we're making and investments that we're making is our platform technology. How we are making automated enrollment into what we call our COP, Customer Onboarding Portal, which will help new customers sign up for accounts with the Postal Service. Another thing is our manifest processing, a new program we call it USPS Ship. Automated verifications, where in the past we've had to do a lot of manual entries. Now these things are being done automatically. Customizing our data feed, where we're getting this information, payment methods are being sent to the Postal Service automatically, and we're speeding up the process with that. Our API platforms, as far as payments, our pricing, service standards, these APIs are being pushed to you automatically. In the past, these were having to be pulled and pushed. They're being done automatically now with our current APIs, these webhooks, push notifications. These are some of the things that we are doing to invest in our technology, improving it, becoming more of a game changer in this industry, and again, becoming the carrier of choice by making these investments. One of these programs that I want to introduce to some and talk about to others is a program called Informed Delivery. What Informed Delivery is, you get a daily notification via email, or you can visit our dashboard. And as you can see on this picture, we now have an app for Informed Delivery. And what Informed Delivery is it shows you a picture of every piece of mail that will come to your mailbox. This has been around probably about 10 to 12 years now. But what we have improved on is making this available for packages as well. And so now, if you can see on this picture on the side, it shows you what packages will be coming with the tracking numbers. A good thing about this Informed Delivery is when we first rolled this out for mail, we were selling it as another touch. And those that are familiar with marketing, we know that it takes at least 7 touches to a customer in order to win that customer's business. Well, with Informed Delivery, this is an added touch at no extra cost. All that mailer had to do was register that campaign, that mailing campaign, into Informed Delivery. And then these notifications would go out to all of their recipients. Same thing now for packaging. So I use the example often, like if you were Home Depot and someone went on to Home Depot's website and ordered some, I don't know, screwdrivers or light bulbs or whatever, ordered something and it was on its way. Well, while that package is on its way, Home Depot has the opportunity to continue marketing to you and encouraging you to come back to their website and make additional purchases while you're waiting on your purchase to arrive. And so, as you can see on the right-hand side, that 50% off. If you were to go back to that website, you can get 50% off of whatever it is that this online store was offering. So if you're not familiar with informed delivery, that's something that I think would be advantageous to implement on your system. Affordability. The Postal Service is unique in the fact that all of our pricing is upfront. You don't have to worry about an invoice coming to you at the end of the week or the end of the month or however you have it set up with other carriers. All of our payments are upfront and predictable. You can set your shipping budget based on how much volume you're able or you're anticipating that you're going to send that year and what your average weight and zones are. You can predict what your shipping budget is going to be. With our competitors, that's often difficult to do. There is no unexpected surcharges. Again, everything is upfront. And then for those customers with large enough volume, we can do customized pricing, what we call contract agreements that you can negotiate with us. So we have a wide range of shipping options that's available to you through Priority Mail Express, which is usually overnight, Priority Mail, which is 2 to 3 day services, and then now we have Ground Advantage, which is 2 to 5 day service. Visibility. Along with our technology that we're improving on, this is one of the things that customers say that they need. They want to see that package. If you're anything like me, as soon as I get that notification that my package has been shipped, I go to find out when that package is expected to make it to me. We have made that a lot easier for customers to do as well by investing in our visibility, giving you tracking along the way, letting you know that your package is there. And there are some unique things that we can also do that the shippers can do when they can, for whatever reason, they find out that a package is going to be delayed because maybe a hurricane is in the area that they're sending to. They can do send notifications through the Postal Service using our technology, send notification to those people in that hurricane affected area and let them know that instead of your package arriving on Saturday, September 7th, it's now going to get there on September 10th because of the conditions that you're experiencing in your area right now. So those are some of the things that we're able to do. Visibility is key. Another great thing that we have incorporated, and it's probably in the second or third year now, is smart lockers. Smart lockers gives you an alternative way of having your packages delivered. Just think if you were on Amazon, and if Amazon has signed up to be a smart locker provider, then when you're going through that checkout process, it will ask you, where do you want your package delivered? And you can have it come to your home, or you can put in, do you want it to go to an alternate location? You can put in your zip code. And once you put your zip code in, then Amazon will feed back to you where the nearest post office that has the smart lockers is located. And you can choose that. And once you get that package is put into that box, you start getting notification from the Postal Service saying, this is your smart locker location. Here's the QR code, and it's very hard to see in that middle screen, but there's a monitor on that locker. You use that QR code from your phone and put it up to that monitor. Thank you. Put it up to that monitor, and you will be able to open up your smart locker box will open up. And this is available to you 24 hours a day. So I wanted to just make sure that you are aware that we have smart lockers now that gives you options of how you want your mail piece or package delivered. Another unique thing about the Postal Service is United States Postal Inspector Service. This is our own police department. Whereas if you use one of our carriers, you would have to just make, if something with your package was stolen or whatever, we all have heard of those push pirates, your package is stolen, you would have to go to your local police department in order to file your claims. With the Postal Service, those claims are handled through us directly. And so we have a high percentage of convictions because when the postal inspectors bring a case to trial, they pretty much have it. It's a done deal. They have all the evidence they need in order to win that. And the fact that tampering with United States Postal Service packages or mail is a federal crime, that's one deterrent. But the other deterrent that we offer is our own police department that secures the mail. And we have been known as one of the top companies to work for because of the security that, or to work with because of the security that we offer through our own police department, which is United States Postal Inspector Service. So we are built for your shipping needs. One of the newest services that we have come up with is Ground Advantage. And it's smart. The shipping is getting smarter. What is Ground Advantage? Well, Ground Advantage is a combination of 3 services that we had previously. Parcel Select Ground, First Class Package Services, and USPS Retail Ground. We combine those all into one service. The good thing about this Ground Advantage, previously, our main product was priority mail. And so we were competing with FedEx and UPS based on their ground services and our expedited air services. And so it was not an apples to apples comparison. Well, with the invention of Ground Advantage, now we're able to compete apples to apples with our competitors. And that is Ground Advantage. Before, our ground service was taking anywhere from 2 to 8 days. Now we have improved our technology, we have improved our network, we have improved by having each one of our trucks full when it goes to its location. We have brought Ground Advantage down to 2 to 5 days services. And so we are competing apples to apples with our competitors. So if you have not tried Ground Advantage, now is a good time. What does Ground Advantage offer? It offers $100 insurance for outbound and for returns. Again, 2 to 5 days throughout the continuous United States, meaning from the West Coast to the East Coast is what we're talking about. Hawaii and Alaska is not included in those. That may take a couple of days longer. We have a wide range that this covers. Previously, First Class Package Services was our ounce-based services. And then we had Parcel Select for our ground services over a pound. With the combination and the invention of Ground Advantage, now Ground Advantage goes from 1 ounce all the way up to 70 pounds. So a wide range of weights. Good thing about our services, even though this is a ground service, it's getting the same benefits as one of our expedited services. Meaning, if you send a package and that customer has moved, it gets forwarded to the next address at no additional cost. If it's returned for whatever reason, unclaimed, undeliverable, whatever, it's returned back to you at no additional cost. Previously, and with our competitors, those services of forwarding and returning are extra services. But with Ground Advantage, that's all built in. If you have not tried Ground Advantage, today is a good day to try it. Another good thing about Ground Advantage is our cubic pricing. What is cubic pricing? Cubic pricing is pricing not based on weight and zone, but based on the dimensions of your package. And it's anywhere from 1 to 20 pounds is where cubic lies. And based on the dimensions, it lets you know what tier you fall within, either tier 1 and so on. Again, it comes with $100 insurance. It's available for all zones. You have to use your own box. No dimensional weight, because it's all based on weight dimensions anyway. So if it does not fit within our dimensional scale for cubic, it wouldn't qualify for it anyway. So no machinable or additional surcharges based on that, because it's falling within the criteria that we need in order for it to go through our network at no additional cost. So this is a map of what Ground Advantage looks like. And so it's showing that 81% of the population is covered in 4 days. 99.5% of the population is covered in 4 days. So we have improved our technology. We have improved our network. We have improved our services by combining and making our products simpler to use, giving you Ground Advantage. And as you can see, we're very competitive or comparable with our competitors. So in summary, Ground Advantage shipping is streamlined, it's smart, and it's a good fit for businesses of all sizes. So if you need additional information, please visit the website, USPS.com/Ground Advantage. So we're all preparing for the holiday season. This is our season. No one does peak season better than the United States Postal Service. And these are some of the benefits. We give you an extra day, not business days, but calendar days. And so you get regular delivery 6 days a week. And then sometimes in some areas, you even get Sunday delivery. And so there is no way that we can be beat when it comes to peak season. There's no competitor surcharges. In the last couple of years, we have not increased our surcharge or applied any surcharges during peak season where our competitors do this. That's the regular way of doing business. Upgrade. We can easily upgrade to new services or expedited services during this time. And I will talk briefly in the next slide about some of our deadlines. And if you are trying to get that package there before that Christmas, these are the deadlines you need to go by. And if you needed to get there, then you would upgrade to the next service in order to get it there. Ground Advantage, again, is in 2 to 5 days. And then one thing I really want to emphasize is if you are a large customer, you need to be getting in contact with the Postal Service now, with your postal representative now, and letting them know your peak volume and if additional pickups will be required from you. We are scheduling that now. We're not waiting until October, November, December. We are preparing for peak season right now. So if you are a large shipper, contact your postal rep and let them know what your expectations are for this holiday season. Again, we are ready for the peak season. Oftentimes, some of our competitors put caps on volume during peak season. Because we are a government agency, we are not allowed to do that. So oftentimes our competitors bring that mail to us in order for us to deliver it. And we've been successful in doing that for years. So again, peak season is USPS season. Did you want to add anything to that, Justin?
So I think you summarized that well, Kadra. I'll just double down and say the Postal Service has demonstrated time and time again that during peak season, we show up and we make sure we get everything delivered. I've even gone out myself, despite the position I'm in, to help deliver package on Sundays, just because it's a culture of like getting it done when no one else can. And we strive to live up to that year over year. So despite all the things that are going on, the Postal Service is going to make sure that we get all those packages delivered every year. And you can count on us for that. Thanks, Kadra.
Thank you, Justin. So, as we said at the top of this webinar, that our 2024 peak season deadline dates have not been set forth as of yet. Those usually come out in October. So we're a little early for that. But I did want to just give you 2023's dates so you can kind of get a ballpark of what to expect. But then I also want to just recommend that you sign up for our industry alerts by using that address that I have placed there, industry alerts at USPS.gov, to sign up for those industry alerts. So when those dates do come out, you will receive those in your email box automatically, along with other things that take place. Industry alerts is a good way of knowing what's going on with the Postal Service.
Those are usually always zone 8 or 9. Right here, she was doubling down. We have an unrivaled network, and it's getting better day over day, day after day. Our pricing is upfront. It doesn't change. What you guys see is what you get. There's no back-end pricing. There's no coming back and chasing you down for extra fuel surcharges or anything. The price demonstrated when you purchase your package is the same price you're going to pay at the end of the day. Trusted partner. This is one of my favorite ones because a lot of us in the Postal Service started as a carrier. People like to see their mail carrier. And because of that, because we're there with them every day, because the mail carriers are part of the community, you can guarantee that the person receiving the package is going to be there or is going to be happy to see the Postal Service with that package. And then the power of our brand, I kind of just doubled down on that. At the end of the day, I think we're just here ready to serve you through our 10-year plan. And if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to your team here with James and Ian. And a lot of you probably also have Postal Service reps you work with directly, and they're always welcome to help you. Next slide, please. Awesome. So is there any questions I can try to answer? I don't see any inside the chat yet, but if there are, James, is there any up there that I can try to get to?
You know what, well, Justin, we're happy to reserve questions to the end, and thank you for providing so much information. It looks like Ian's going to come back on and give you some practical suggestions for you setting up Mom and getting the most out of Mom for the holiday season. And then when Ian finishes that, we'll come back to some questions.
Thanks, Jim. So we heard from USPS team, what to do in the holiday and what's coming up with them during the holiday, during the peak season. So on the mom side, we also wanted to cover what to prepare for during the holiday season. Now, this is the basic checklist that we typically go through. Obviously, one thing that you want to go through is your shipping setup and configuration. Make sure that you went through all the settings and global parameters within Mom to make sure that that's all configured the way you want it and tested before the busy season starts. That way, when you get the peak season, everything's running smoothly and behaving as expected. So make sure that you have your hardware checked, make sure all your label printers are working correctly, they're set up correctly, and make sure you have backups for them as well, just in case they do go down and you have to replace them. The other thing is within the global settings, you need to define your fulfillment workflow. So you got to make sure that all the paperwork and labels are printing correctly. That workflow needs to be tested and confirmed now. So that way, again, during the busy season, you're just simply processing orders, everything's streamlined, and you're outputting volumes of orders out of the door. During the busy season, we see a lot of our merchants get seasonal help. So make sure that we have seasonal resources in place. So we have seasonal seats that could help with that. We have training videos as well. We want to make sure that those seasonal workers or resources that you have are well trained and familiar with the workflow that you guys define now. One of the other things that we have that can help is our advanced order processing module, which is very helpful. It allows you to predefine all the different workflows that you have for the batch processing. So that way, when the seasonal helps come in, they simply choose a filter that they'd like to run, and it automatically checks all the proper stages and prints all the proper paperwork as needed. This also allows you to have multiple people in batch at the same time, allowing you to output higher volumes of orders day to day, every day during peak season. And lastly, you want to make sure that you test your shipping confirmation in Mom now. That way, that's set up so that way, as this season comes, most of the common follow-ups we see for CSRs, for call centers, are where's my package, what's my tracking number. If we have shipping confirmations going out in our Mom system, as well as the different carriers, it helps reduce that call significantly on the call center side. So again, this is just a quick checklist so that you are ready and prepped for the busy season in regards to shipping. Next slide here is just going to be the questions. So we're just going to look at, if you have any more questions for us, either for the Mom side or USPS team, please go to the question panel and type in your question. We'll go through them and take them on and answer them for you.
Thank you, team. And as Ian mentioned, you can certainly put in some questions. We had some questions that were supplied to us in advance. We had a more general question about the upcoming holiday season. What were the projections? And we've taken a lot of time to do some research and to begin compiling information about what the expected volume is going to be. And the good news right now is that holiday season 2024, and this is from the experts, not from the freestyle team necessarily, but the experts say that you can expect a substantial increase in dollar volume sales of up to about 9.5%, and that's total volume of sales year over year. And the expectation is that the total sales across e-commerce will be something in the range of $271 billion, and that's a lot of money. The other notable thing about the upcoming holiday season, and this is a trend that's been very consistent over the past few years, it's going to start earlier. I think, and it seems like a distant memory now, but it wasn't so long ago when Black Friday and Cyber Monday were the touchstone events to the start of the holiday season. And that's no longer true. Customers are not necessarily relying upon Black Friday, which was the start of it, which was an in-person retail event. And Cyber Monday was when people returned to the office and could order online using high-speed internet. Well, everybody has that now. So the trend went from those two names to Cyber Week. And now we see sales starting much, much earlier. And that's an individual merchant decision. Perhaps you start to plan for that yourself. But we've seen the start of the holiday season, certainly before Thanksgiving, of course. And it seems like it'll start tomorrow or certainly before Halloween. But you can expect a healthy volume of sales across the industry, according to the experts, and a much longer period to sell. The second thing is the increase in returns, and that's been a consistent problem and worrisome for retailers. And there's a holiday sales period, and then there's the return period, which is something that none of us really want to see. Returns aren't fun. There's a lot of information available about how to best handle returns. Really looking at your returns policy that you publish for your consumers, for your customers, and making sure that still reflects what you want to happen. Freestyle itself will be reissuing our holiday ebook with all the helpful information we've been supplying to you over the past few years. That will be out very, very soon. Look for some information about that next week. But that's always a good companion to your planning. Take a look, and it has information about marketing, sales, setting up your warehouse, some of the things that Ian just mentioned, and preparing for returns, which is unfortunately a part of retail life. So that's some information about what the expectations are for the holiday. We've had a couple of other questions that have been sent to us in advance about this kind of savings, and this is really more for the post office team, kind of savings that you can expect using Ground Advantage and other post office services. And Kadra, I don't know if your microphone is back active, or Justin, if you have some questions about that or some thoughts about that, boy, that would be very welcome, because not only great service is possible at the Ground Advantage, but some savings too. So Justin and Kadra, if you have any thoughts on that. And guys, you just have to unmute yourself. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong unmute button. Can you ask me that question one more time?
Yeah, just about some thoughts about what our customers can expect by using, in terms of savings, using Ground Advantage.
Yeah, with Ground Advantage, it's just a pretty competitive product out there. Right now we have a lot of, the big carriers, UPS and FedEx. We all have a variety of products. With USPS Ground, I think Kadra highlighted some of those earlier. We deliver during holiday season on Sundays for the most part, and also 6 days a week. And then our wheelhouse tends to be less than 10 pounds and less than a cubic foot. So if you've got packages that are less than 10 pounds and less than a cubic foot, especially in that ounce-based range, the Postal Service generally is the best way to go with that package. That's just on price. When you start thinking of the extra services, If you look at zones 1 through 5, we can get it. We have about a 2-day reach for those packages. And then even across the nation, we're seeing 4 to 5 days in most locations. So, Audrey, I don't know if you can unmute yet, but I think it's about 150 to 250 miles for zone up to zone 3, but I can't verify that right now. But that's kind of like the rule of thumb I think you can go with. Does that answer your question, James?
It does. And just adding on to that, Justin, Kadra had mentioned the role of the Postal Service and the aggressive posture they take to preventing fraud. And I think that's welcome because, the post office is unique in having its own police force and being able to pursue those kinds of investigations and to address fraud, as opposed to some of the private carriers that rely more upon local authorities or some help from consumers even. So I think that's the unique advantage that the post office has, and all of our merchants address the issue and concerns around fraud. And perhaps people have become accepting of porch pirates, but having that aggressive posture that the post office does can only help merchants and consumers too. If you're depending upon a package, you certainly don't want it to have stolen if it's for one of your kids' presents for Christmas or anything else. You want to receive that package. So I think that's a great advantage as well, and probably something that people don't think of when they select a carrier.
No, you're correct. The Postal Service is the only company allowed to deliver into your mailbox. That's a sense of security on its own. And then Kadra mentioned the postal inspectors earlier. I work closely with the postal inspectors for all the accounts that my team supports, and we help identify fraud all the time. And there are a lot of huge things. I mean, I could talk about it for hours. But yeah, not just like label fraud and people stealing packages, but all the way up to partnering with some of these biggest partners out there and trying to mitigate the amount of account theft and credit card hijacking, because we're not in this game alone. We have competitors and partners all across the board, but we partner with those competitors and partners even further to help mitigate fraud that it eventually impacts everybody in our industry, including, the merchants and the people using your platform, James, or even your platform. Our goal is to keep costs down by stopping fraud before it even starts.
Great, thank you. And another thing that was mentioned before is that the post office has perhaps a little bit different perspective on the amount of volume they will accept. And they're not going to cut off packages. They're not going to cut off shipments. They're going to do everything that is humanly possible to get packages delivered, even at increased volumes. And you said it well, Justin, it sounds like you've been making some deliveries during the holiday season on a Sunday. And I think it's both commendable, and it just goes to show the extra lengths that the post office will go to make sure that packages are delivered.
Yeah, we're committed year round. But like during peak, that's part of the reason why our network is set up for peak season year round. If you think about a few years ago when some of these big companies were going on strike, the Postal Service was ready to handle that volume because it's kind of our mandate from the federal government. We have to be available to service the nation for communication. Packages are included in that 6 days a week, every week. That's what we have to be able to do. And we can't use there was too much as an excuse to not meet that requirement. So yeah, we're there and we're ready. And year over year, I've been to plants or I see the videos or pictures of plants of other companies dropping off packages with the Postal Service so they can help meet their volume commitments. But we're happy to accept them, and we're happy to partner with those guys to get those packages to the end merchant.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. And there was one other question that had come in, and it was around one rate services. I won't mention the competitor, but what would be the post office equivalent to that, because that's become a popular service?
Yeah, there's a handful of one-price-fits-all services out there. This is another thing I could probably go into 15 minutes talking about. But before I buy into a one-rate-fits-all service, I would look at the zones and the weights that you're shipping to, and then look at some of the things the other competitors out there, not just Postal Service. We have DHL, UPS, FedEx. I'm here to talk about the Postal Service, though. So our product specifically is the flat rate product, and we have a medium flat rate box and a small flat rate box. And Kadra, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we might have got rid of the large flat rate box, but we had one for a really long time. Is that still out there, Kadra?
We do still have the large flat rate box, but not the largest ones. We did get rid of a lot of those boxes.
Yes, but there are still a handful of options out there for those for the flat rate solution. But also, like I said, if you've got a variety of products, I would check out not only, we have a priority mail flat rate envelope that is it's a padded envelope. That is a very popular product because you can fit a lot of things in a flat rate envelope. But also make sure you're double checking your data and you're really understanding the origination and destination of the product you're sending, because I think sometimes going past the one rate and looking at the variety of services out there can help you get the best rate possible for your company.
Okay. Thank you,
Also,
guys.
I would like to add, although it's not flat rate, cubic pricing is a game changer. A lot of money is left on the table just because people fail to put their dimensions in. So when you put your dimensions in, cubic rates should be one of those rates that come up, not only weight-based flat rate, but cubic weight as well. Make sure that you're looking at those cubic pricing because that's a game changer.
Okay. And thank you. That's the end of our questions. I don't see anything else in the question panel. Let me just take a quick check here. No, I don't. And if you certainly have any questions for the post office team, you can connect through with them through the Freestyle team, and we'll be happy to get you answers. And we're happy to have hosted this webinar to be able to advise you of the great services and all the great work that the post office is doing. We thank you, Justin and Kadra, for your time today and participating. And we, of course, thank all of our participants and all the people who attended the webinar. We're happy to provide this information, and we wish all of you the best and the most profitable and active holiday season coming up for both for your business and for your family too. So with that, I believe we're going to call a conclusion to the webinar today. And thank you, and we look forward to speaking to you next time. Good day, everybody.